And it's nice to have a level of cognitive flexibility, and because that increases your learning agility. It's one of the things that we teach in Limitless is as 6 thinking hats. It's created by Edward de Bono. And it's this idea that if you are facing a decision or a difficulty or a dilemma in your life, one of the reasons why we can't always think our way out of something is because we see something from a set point of view. And what 6 thinking hats does, it gives you permission to step out of yourself and try on another lens. Meaning, imagine this table here has 6 color hats, right?
Yep.
And I want everybody to think about, who's listening or watching this right now, a decision you need to make or a difficulty. It doesn't have to be like life and death, but it's just something that, that...
Where to live, I'm thinking about that.
Yes, perfect. Where to live. And then you have these hats. So the first hat is the white hat. No specific order. So imagine you're reaching out and you're putting on the white hat.
Okay.
Right? And the white hat, and I'll give you a mnemonic because I'm the memory guy to help you remember what each one symbolizes. The white hat, imagine a white scientist's lab coat, like a white lab coat. That's data, that's information, that's facts, right? So now you could only look at this situation or this decision tree through the eyes of logic.
Okay, so right, I'm doing that now. So me and my partner are actually looking for somewhere to live at the moment, and we've been looking at, it was really about which area to live in London, or maybe we'll live in Portugal, or maybe Dubai. So we're kind of trying to figure that out.
Okay.
So I've got my white hat on and my lab coat, and I can only think about logic. So price, I'm thinking about, is it a good time to buy? What's the graph saying? I'm thinking about renting versus buying.
Commute and travel and amenities that are, that would be all the factual. And then so you could take off the white hat and now look for the red hat. So you grab the red hat, you put it on, and the red hat symbolizes heart, is emotions. So this is where you're going more with your gut, your feeling. You're putting logic aside and just like, what feels right for you?
Her family lives in Portugal, so that's the first thing that came to mind when you said about feelings, so being close to family.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is good. I hope everyone's doing this also. So you could take off the red hat and you could put on, let's say, the black hat. And the black hat, think of a judge's robe. And the judge's robe, this is where you get a little bit, you could be judgmental. You could look at the risk or the devil's advocate. You could look at the other side, in terms of what could go wrong. Like
I might hate living there. The places we're considering, we've never lived in before. So what if we buy a place and then we immediately don't like it? Maybe we should stay where we are and not buy anywhere. Maybe the housing market will collapse and it'll be such a bad investment that we'll regret it.
So you're shining a spotlight. So the idea here is that the information is out there, but where are we choosing to put a spotlight and acknowledge and be aware of? So you could take off the black hat, and we're doing this abbreviated, right? And then look for the yellow hat. You put on the yellow hat, and the yellow is like the sun, and that's like optimism. And this is like all the things opposite of the black hat. What could go wrong? What could go right? Like what the upside?
And even all those things I just named, we'll figure it out.
Yeah,
we'll figure it out. If we live there, we can always move somewhere else, and we'll make it work. And Dubai's lovely. It's hot.
Yeah.
So is Portugal.
Nice. And those are 4 hats, and the last 2. Take off the yellow hat and find the green hat. And so you put on the green hat, and the green is possibility. It's like new growth. If you look at the plants that are green, imagine new foliage, new growth. And these are like maybe thinking outside the box. Like maybe it's not, I go to this job or this job. Maybe it's I go back to school, or maybe it's something I'm not entertaining. So that's possibility.
So that would be in the context of me moving house. What is that? That's the possibility of...
So if it was like between this and this, it could be like choice 3 or choice 4.
A third option. So maybe we'll try America, or we'll try another place to live in the world, or maybe we'll just Airbnb in all these places and we can live in all of them.
Yeah. Okay, so that would be green. And then finally, the last hat. So it can be done in any order, but the blue hat is always you end with. So put on the blue hat. And the blue, imagine the sky overlooking everything. It's kind of like the manager hat. It listens to all the conversations with all the other color hats, and then it helps you make a decision. because it informs. Because here's the thing: you can only make decisions based on what's in your conscious awareness, and so many people live with a certain hat on, like 24/7. They are just that logical facts, prove it to me, and they see through a certain lens. But if they're not, looking at the emotional context or other possibilities or the downside of, Branson's very good at that, right? He's very good at looking at. Everyone looks at him as very, very risky, do all these crazy things. But he's, you have conversations with him. He looks at, like from the black hat, look in terms of risk management, right? And mitigating the downside. And so but if you just looked at everything through the yellow hat, investing, optimistic, you think everything's going to Bitcoin, everything's going to be good, you're going to go all in that, and you're ignoring the other points of view. And so this allows you to have more information. So hopefully with that more information, you can make a wiser choice.